Hello everybody, Slim Kirby here. I am here today because I want to talk to you guys about something. There's something that's kind of been on my mind, something that's really been eating at me, something that I've been really wanting to get off my chest, and I feel like the video that I'm making here is the best way to do so. So I'm going to spend some time talking about this stuff. I hope you guys don't mind. Obviously, I'm going to have my normal video uploaded today as well, so this is not my only upload today, do not worry. But there are some things that I really wanted to talk about in regards to the NES Remix project. NES Remix is the weekend project I've been working on. I've been posting videos for that project on both weekend days for the past 3 weeks. Honestly, it's been a lot of fun. I've really been enjoying the project. I was really looking forward to getting the project started too, because when I discovered the game a few years ago, like I said in the project, I thought it would be a great YouTube project. I thought it would be something that a lot of people would really enjoy, and it just really got me excited to eventually get to that playthrough, and I was really happy that it was finally going to actually come to fruition. And it seems like from the video stats, I've gotten a lot of likes on those videos. There seems to be a lot of people who enjoy this project, and I couldn't be happier with that because it's pretty much like I figured there were going to be a lot of people who enjoy the project. However, with all that being said though, even though I have a lot of likes on these videos, it seems like the minority, or rather the very vocal minority, don't really seem to be liking this project that much. I've been getting a lot of very negative comments on these videos. A lot of comments just saying that they don't really like the way I've been handling this project. They don't really like the format that I've been using. A lot of people kind of telling me how I should be doing the game, how I should be playing the game, stuff of that nature. And I want to be honest, it got very discouraging for a while. It got to the point where it's like, I really didn't want to read the comments on the next video because I just thought, wow, I just don't want to be bummed out right now. I don't really want to actually feel bad about this project that honestly I thought was really fun, and it just really kind of got me in a state where I was just really worried, oh my god, is this project actually that bad? Is this a project I should cancel or something? But after thinking about it, again, I looked at the video stats, and again, there's so many people who like this project. In fact, when you look at the number of likes in these videos compared to other videos from other projects, there are way more likes in the NES Remix videos than there are in a lot of other videos. So clearly there are a lot of people who love the project. It's just kind of a case where the people who love the project are kind of in a silent majority, while the people who don't really like the project, or again, don't really like the way I'm doing the project, are kind of in the vocal minority, so to speak. And I don't really want to completely disregard the people in the minority just because they're in the minority, because, you know, I do welcome all forms of criticism, constructive criticism, and I feel like if there's something you don't like about the video, you should definitely mention that or comment on that. But the things that have been particularly bothering me are not so much the fact that the comments are negative, but just in kind of how the comments are being, I guess, shown to the world, I guess you could say. And it kind of stems to another thing that really kind of bothers me on YouTube and streaming and just kind of a lot of medium of this nature. And a lot of that kind of goes to the topic of Backseat Gaming. And here's the thing. I'm not really a big fan of Backseat Gaming because, for one, I feel like whenever someone is playing a video game, they should be able to play the game how they want to. They should be able to do what they want. They're the ones that have the controller. They're the ones that will ultimately make the decision of what to do, where to go, and how to proceed forward. Whether or not they actually have success in proceeding down that route, that kind of is just kind of up to them. It's kind of in their hands whether or not they get through the game. And I feel like if someone is kind of dictating or telling people how they should be playing the game, or in this case, for me, it's more so how I should be doing the project, I honestly and genuinely feel like that can really ruin a gaming experience for someone when they kind of have that constant force trying to yank the controller out of their hands, because it's almost kind of well, hey, I'm playing the game right now. If you want to play the game your way, then do it your way when it's your turn. This is my turn right now. I'm going to do what I want because I'm the one playing the game. I have the control, and I just kind of want to do things my own way. And for me, it really kind of gets to me, especially in this case, because I've been playing video games for 25 years, and I've been making YouTube videos for almost 10 years now. So, safe to say, I have experience. And from that experience, I know that the way I do things works. It's proven successful in the past. I've beaten tons and tons and dozens of video games before. I've made dozens and dozens of YouTube projects. So I feel like, if anything, it's almost kind of an insult that I'm being, kind of dictated on how I should be doing things, when honestly, I think I'm doing just fine getting through the project, and I'm doing just fine getting through the game. And at the end of the day, it really shouldn't matter how I do things, because the end goal is going to be the same. No matter what, I've kind of set for a goal for myself that at the very end of the project, I will have all of the rainbow stars. I will have shown off everything in the game, so why should it matter how I do it? That's just kind of what gets to me. And I understand that the way I do things may not be the most efficient and the most optimal way to do things. And as a gamer, I realize that my skill level is probably not as high as you think it would be, and I tend to kind of miss things, forget things, and not pick up on things quite as easily as other video gamers do. But at the same time, I still feel like my success rate is pretty damn high. Again, I've beaten tons and tons of video games. I've done over 130 projects on my YouTube channel, so even though my ways might seem a bit unorthodox at times, and maybe not the ways that you would personally use to get through a game, they've always worked for me, and I don't really see any reason to change up my methodology if it works for me, and that's just kind of the way I feel about it. In fact, it still kind of bugs me about the Pikmin 2 playthrough, how there were a lot of people who really heavily critiqued the way I played the game, almost to the point where they said I was doing things wrong or doing things incorrectly. Yet at the same time, I beat the entire game without losing a single Pikmin and without using any reset strats either. So, again, it's weird. How can you critique someone who clearly had a perfect playthrough? It may have not been the fast playthrough or a really fast speedrun playthrough, but it was still a playthrough where I didn't lose any Pikmin, and I feel like that should be what needs to be focused on, as opposed to how I essentially attempted each puzzle. It just really baffles me how people can be so negative and so ignorant of the overall accomplishments of the individual, and then focus so hard and so heavily on all the mistakes and all the flaws and all the faults. It's why are you trying so hard to rain on that person's parade? If you accomplish something, would you want people being happy for you and congratulate you? Or would you want them pointing out every single mistake you made and trying to take your accomplishment away from you? It just seems like a very disrespectful way to handle a situation, and I just don't really see the value in it or how it helps anybody. So yeah, for the people leaving comments, just please try to keep all that stuff in mind. Ultimately, I know you are only trying to help me, and you're only trying to be constructive, and you don't mean to be disrespectful or demeaning. But because this is the internet, and because you are communicating through text, sometimes the intent can be a bit unclear and can be misconstrued in translation. I have been reading the comments, and I have been listening to your complaints, and I will be doing what I can to improve the videos for everyone's enjoyment. But as far as the way I'm handling the project or playing the game, I just really don't see a reason to change things up. Especially when, from a statistical standpoint, the reception has been mostly positive. It's just the comments that have been negative, and there haven't been a whole lot of comments, so I kind of have to go with the percentages here, if that makes sense. I think that's fair, and I think that's the only thing I really have to go by, if anything. I apologize if the project hasn't been as enjoyable for you because of the way I've been doing it, but honestly, I'm going to stick to my guns here, and I'm going to handle it in the way I would normally handle it, even if I wasn't playing it for YouTube. That's the way I've done it for every project on my channel, and I don't see a reason to do it any differently. I know it might seem like a blunt thing to suggest, but if you don't enjoy the project, you could always just not watch it. I don't mean any disrespect by suggesting that. I'm just speaking from a very logical viewpoint of, if you don't like something, why try to subject yourself to watching it if you don't like the content? Although I appreciate the views and the feedback, ultimately your enjoyment is the most important thing, and if it's something you don't like digesting, I'm not going to expect you or force you to eat it, if that makes sense. It wouldn't be fair to you, much like it wouldn't be fair to take away from the other people who enjoy the content, and I just think that's the way we should be thinking about this. That's pretty much all I wanted to say and get off my chest. I want to thank everybody for listening. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to this video and hear me out. And if there is anything I have to impart before I take my leave, just try to think about what you're trying to say before you leave a comment. And try to keep in mind that everyone has a different method or a different way of doing things. Nobody has to be perfect and nobody has to be flawless. So it's probably best to try and leave that mindset alone altogether when leaving comments. Just remember that we are all gamers united by the common interest and like of video games. And the best part of video games is being able to tackle each challenge in your own way and make your own accomplishments. So, why try to take that away from people? That's all I'm trying to say. This has been Slim Kirby, and I'll talk to you guys later. Later, folks.